Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Alright, so I thought I would just take a moment to sit down, play with some makeup, because I actually haven't done that in a hot minute. So today's video, we're going to play around with these two particular makeup products right here. So we got a palette and then we have a face palette from the makeup brand Nosta Beauty. I figured that I would also go into this Makeup Revolution. I know this was a really hyped up product a few months ago. It is the IRL filter. I got this for free in an Ulta purchase. It was like free for purchase, I guess, in general, since I am a Diamond member. So we'll go ahead and test this out as well. All right, if you are new to my channel, if I didn't say that already, my name is Carlos. Welcome. If you like unboxings, makeup tutorials, product reviews, lifestyle videos, and hot messes of just general, then make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell as well. So anytime I upload a new video, you automatically get the notifications and give my video a thumbs up, because I always greatly appreciate it, that interaction that you guys do with my channel. That didn't sound right. Anyways, you guys, so without further ado, let's just go ahead and get this ball rolling, because clearly this train is about to crash. All right, you guys, so as I mentioned, I'm going to be using these two products right here. So we have a face palette, then we have an eyeshadow palette from Nosta Beauty. If you're not familiar with Nosta Beauty, it is actually an independent makeup brand, but it's adorable because everything that is geared in, or I should say everything that's created on their makeup line is supposed to bring back memories. So basically that's the reason why it's called Nosta, hence Nostalgia Beauty. Or it's not called Nostalgia Beauty, but it's kind of like, you get what I'm trying to say. Nosta is a part of nostalgia, got it, you know, memories and stuff like that. Anyways, guys, so this right here is supposed to be like a VHS like case and like whole packaging, like, so, you know, old school. I'm seriously, this is so freaking awesome. Then you have the back of this, so cool. The shade names are actually right here. So we got two highlighters. That everything right here, it is a face palette, so it is multi-use. I can't get my words together. So we have fast forward, play, pause, stop, and then we have rewind. All right, so but the first product that we're going to be using right away is going to be the Nosta Beauty Nostalgia Playlist. Let's make up. That's so cute. Why I say all like that? Anyways, it is cruelty and vegan free. Look at this. It's so freaking awesome. It just gives you the whole impression that you're holding a recordable or like a burn CD. And then on the back right here, it's super cute. If you guys can see this, like the names that are actually titled in here are names that represents like songs that were out like in the 90s and early 2000s. Super cute, you guys. Say you don't want to hold this whole palette, you can actually take this out. It's like magnetic in here, so it's really secured in there because it is magnetic, but you can take it out. And look at this, even the detailing of this, hopefully it picks up, it looks like a disc, but it also has like the scratches on there, if as though you threw it in your car, you know, they build up scratches. My TVs were never like that, but some people did have scratch CDs, so that's pretty awesome that it comes out like that. Again, this is freaking awesome. So let's definitely get into this palette and play with this a little bit. I think based on the shades, I just want to keep it simple for me today. So what I'm going to do is go into the shade Believe. I'm going to go into Gone, and then just to add a little bit of more color to it, I'm going to use a Heartbreaker, which is this kind of like purple fuchsia color right here. So I'm definitely just use those three. Again, just make it as simple as possible. All right, you guys, so I brought you in just slightly a little bit closer so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So as I mentioned, I'm going to go into the shade Gone, which is more of this lighter brownish tan. I'm going to be using ColourPop E26. So what I'm going to do is take that shade right here, and then I'm just going to apply it directly on top of the crease area, and then I'm going to buff it out. I don't want to go in there too much because I want to make sure I have enough control over where that shadow goes. What I'm doing right now is basically packing down, not dusting off the product, but patting down the product inside the bristles. And if I need to go back, I can always go back into where I apply this and pull up a little bit more of the eyeshadow without actually wasting the product. So let me go ahead and show you exactly what I'm about to do. So what I'm going to do is basically pack on that shade Gone right above the crease line. As you notice, I'm not buffing it out, I'm just packing it on. And the reason for that, because I'm going to go in with a cleaner brush and then slightly buff it upward so that it's more soft a transition shade. All right, you guys, so now I'm going to go into the TrulyMKE Beauty. This is B103. If you notice right here, it's slightly a little buff. No, lightly. Can't say the word. It does have some more spread out bristles. So this way it's going to allow me to buff this out without spreading out that product way too much. So let me go ahead and show you exactly what I mean by that. So right here, just going to go windshield wiper motion. And then if I need to, then I'll just twirl it around to bring up the product slightly over here. So this way I'm not bringing too much of the actual product right below the brow bone area. All right, you guys, so I was able to go ahead and buff that out overall. So what I ended up doing, as I mentioned before, I went ahead and just slightly buff out that product going upward and then outward. So if you notice right here, it has this nice smooth overall appearance. Now the reason for that is because I do have hooded eyes. Now I don't want to make sure that I don't have too much product up here where basically it weighs down my eye overall. So this way it still looks like I have quite a bit of landscaping even though I have hooded eyes. All right, you guys, so the next shade I'm going to go into, as I mentioned, I'm going to go into the shade that's called Believe. And I'm going to be using a MAC 219 brush. And the reason I'm going to be using this brush right here, hopefully you guys can see it. I'm trying to multitask and obviously it's not working. It has more of a dome-like, but it's more compact and it's much smaller. So it gives me a lot more control where I'm going to apply the brush. Real quick, I want to let you guys know that anytime you're applying an eyeshadow, let me get a brush right here. You never want to start out with a brush that's like this. And the reason for that is because it's going to take up way too much product and it's going to apply the product all over the place, which then gives you less control of where the actual product is going to actually be applied. So my suggestion is always start small and then gradually build up, and then you're able to spread it out exactly where you need it to go. So now I'm just going to basically pack on the product right here. I'm just going to pack it on. I'm not worrying about buffing it out. I'm just going to pack it on right here because what I want to end up doing is going back to the same brush that I used, the TrulyMKE Beauty, and then buff it out. And I'm just going to keep going back and forth with the product. And then I'm just going to get to achieve the overall pigment level that I'm looking for, and then go ahead and buff that out so this way I can go with my third and final shade. It's the shade Heartbreaker, which is the one right here. So the reason I'm going to be using that, I'm going to apply that directly in the middle. So if you notice, that's where the lightest spot is. All right, so I did not dust any of the actual product off because I want to make sure that I have enough product on my eyelid of this particular shadow. And this way I can always buff up any extra shadow that's on here that I may have applied too much and then buff it upward. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, as I mentioned, take that TrulyMKE Beauty brush and then buff out the edges of the shade Heartbreaker so that it blends in with the other two shades. So you notice I'm just doing it very lightly. All right, you guys, so far we're getting there. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this side and then I'm gonna show you exactly what extra special little thing I'm gonna be doing. All right, you guys, I was able to go ahead and finish both eyes all together. So now if you really want to create more of a smoky eye overall appearance, you could go back into the same brush that you used to apply the darker shade, which was, again, for me, was the MAC 219. Take the leftover product that you still have from that darker shade, and just slowly, and as you notice, I did a little bit, but if you want to create more of a bolder look, you could bring more of the product down and just slightly buff it out. Now, if you apply too much, you're like, oh, that's a little bit too bold for me, then you can always clean it up with a micellar water. But other than this, just bring it down to the waterline and slowly buff it out. And then make sure that the ends of the eyes connect so that there isn't no disconnection whatsoever. But this will allow you to create more of that smoky eye overall appearance if that's what you're trying to achieve. But I definitely want to bring out the brown bone area a little bit more. So what I'm going to end up doing, I'm going to go in with a Laura Lee Los Angeles. This is a the numbers are so small, 38 brush, I believe. It is a fluffy brush, but it is a little bit more of a smaller fluffy brush. So I'm going to go into the shade Dilemma, and I'm just going to apply that right below the brown bone area. So let me go ahead, and this I will dust off because I really don't need any extra shimmer to it. So I'm just going to bring this right here and just lightly go over this area. Now, if you notice, a little bit goes a long way. You see this? Hopefully you guys are able to see it. It's there, but it's very light. And that is exactly what you want to achieve. And just in case from a distance, you're not able to actually see the shade that I got done using, again, it was Dilemma, just to kind of bring it out a little bit more in the brown bone area. You see this right here? Look at that. Pretty, really, really, really. It's actually really nice. So if you notice what I was talking about, you got to be careful that you don't create any muddy look. You see how it easily transition? Again, key is brushes. Always start small because then it gives you more control of how you're going to be applying the eyeshadow. Same over here. No issue whatsoever. Pretty good, right? All right, you guys. So as I mentioned, I'm going to go into the Makeup Revolution, the IRL filter. Again, this is F8. I've never used this before. I don't even know if this is my right shade. I went ahead and did this. I'm just going to take a little bit. The sponge itself actually is wet, so just in case if you are curious. So now I'm just going to apply it. If you want to, just use your fingers. I always think your fingers are a better method in terms of applying the foundation, but let's go ahead and see. I don't know if this is full coverage. It does say it's breathable, soft, matte from what I'm reading on the actual bottle, but it doesn't say if it's full coverage. I guess we'll see. I'm not a full coverage type of person, but I do like a decent overall coverage. So far, it is a little light, I'm not gonna lie, but we'll make it work. All right, you guys, so as I'm actually applying the foundation on my skin, I think I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm not liking the texture that is leaving on my skin right now. Like, I really don't like it. I was using a sponge, didn't like how I was applying, so I figured let me go into a brush and see if the texture would go away. And I'm not. It could just be the primer. They're not working together. That happens from time to time. I don't know if you're able to see this, but around here, it almost looks like it settles into the pores really kind of funny, to the point where you can actually see where the product is at. And there's other areas it actually blended quite well, but it does leave kind of like these little, I'm not sure how it's, almost looks like flakiness to your skin. And I know that's not the case for me right now. Like all right here, you're not going to be able to see it probably because of the lighting, but yeah, hold on, let me see something here. No, it's not going to work. I don't know. I'll try this on another day. Maybe, again, it could just be the primer and them both are not working together. That could be it. Again, that happens. So, can't really give you an honest thoughts and opinions about this. I mean, there was a big hype about it, but right now, I'm not having the best experience. All right, guys. So, I was able to go ahead and wipe the product off my face. It's still, I don't know. It left a residue. I wasn't happy with it. I'll try it again. I'll try it with a different primer because, again, sometimes that does happen, as I mentioned. But anyways, so let's go into the other product here. Again, this is the Swatch Me Face Palette, again, from Nosta Beauty. I think I'm going to go into Play, this shade right here. Again, this is a cream to powder, I believe, a formula. And the reason I'm going to be using this one is because it looks like it matches more of the middle eyeshadow that I used, the Heartbreaker. Take a little of that product right here. Oh boy, there's some pigment to it. All right, so let's just see. Okay, so there's pigment. Boy. All right, so let's go ahead and buff this out. So let me get a brush here. Just buff this out. Wow, this has pigment, you guys. Now knowing that this is really pigmented, I wouldn't have gone in with such a heavy finger, a heavy hand, because this is, yeah, the pigment is there. Not saying it's a bad thing by any means. This actually is a really good thing. It just means that going forward, I need to make sure that I apply minimally and not as much as I did. All right, you guys, so what I end up doing, because I want to show you the comparison if you were to apply a foundation over your liquid or your cream powder. So this area, well, this side, I don't have any foundation on. As you notice, the words. The blush is still there. It's pretty bold, I'm not gonna lie. Again, that's just more of like an FYI going forward. Use a little bit because it does go a long way. Now over here I did apply a foundation. I didn't use this one. I ended up using the one that I always go to because I never have any issues with this particular foundation. I got this from Amazon and it works amazingly. But if you notice right here, the blush still pokes through, but gives it that nice, soft overall glow. So right here, again, foundation, this side, no foundation. So hopefully you guys are able to see the comparison. Again, foundation and no foundation. Now, what I will say, because I did bring the foundation up further up here, that same issue that I was having before when I was using this is happening up here too. So I'm wondering now for sure if it's that primer, because I've never had any issues with this foundation before. So it's probably that primer. Now, if you're curious as to what primer I end up using, where is it? And it was an expensive brand too. I'm not gonna lie. It was a little sample piece. So that's kind of the reason why you want to do sample pieces. It's this YSL Top Secrets Instant Matte Pore Primer. I don't know what it was. I don't know if there's oil in this particular product or what, or water, because oil and water don't mix. Obviously, depending on the foundations, one has one or the other. It created like this effect that I was not pleased with. So who knows? Obviously, it was the primer because this foundation had the same experience up here. Anyways, you guys, so yeah, what I will do is to kind of like just add a little color to my lips. I will go into that same shade. As I mentioned, this one is Play, and I'll just apply that directly onto my lips to add some color. Ooh, really nice and creamy. Okay. Yeah, if you want to really intensify the look, it looks like I've been biting berries. Nice natural look, actually, I'm not gonna lie. Go on top of that with just a regular gloss, nothing special. My God, you hear my dog in the background? Yeah, it actually came out pretty decent. Okay, so again, foundation, no foundation. So that's kind of the reason why my face looks like this. But overall, not a bad product to be using. Again, overall, these products are actually really decent. So we got the face palette, and then we got the eyeshadow palette right here. But there is, like I mentioned, there are those two highlighters, which I did not use, but I can definitely do a quick swatching just in case if you are curious. So right here we have a fast forward, and then we have rewind. So let me make sure my fingers are clean. Oh my goodness, they're creamy. So that is, okay. Ooh, and then we have a rewind. Oh, okay. These are actually really creamy, you guys. You see that? Oh, I am pleasantly surprised that those highlighters are actually that creamy. What do you guys think about the face palette, again, from Nosta Beauty, or the actual Nostalgia Playlist eyeshadow palette, again, from Nosta Beauty? So as a huge thank you to all my friends of my YouTube channel, I want to do a special giveaway. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving away these two items right here, not these that I used. I actually picked up another set just for you guys. So they're all right in here. The owner, one of the owners of the brand, was nice enough, Tiffany was nice enough to send me a handwritten card. So that was really cool. So the extra goodies are right here. So we have the face palette, and then right over here, we actually have, why I say we actually, we do, we have the eyeshadow palette itself. So if you want to know how to enter the giveaway, you got to make sure to go in the description field below, read all of the rules and regulations. This giveaway is not sponsored by Nosta Beauty or YouTube or any of their affiliates. This is just a simply thank you from me to you guys. So definitely leave a comment below because I would love to hear your memories about all those nostalgia things that pop into your head. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell as well. So anytime I upload a new video, you automatically get the notifications and give my video a thumbs up as well. Because as always, I greatly appreciate it. But until then, make sure to brush your teeth, wash your culo, and subscribe. I will see you guys in my next video. Till then, take care. Bye now.